I can no longer in good conscience say that we have a housing shortage. The fact is, we have a housing crisis on our hands. Hi everybody, thanks so much for tuning into the channel again. My name is Adam Nadler, I'm the owner of Vision Real Estate, and today we're gonna go over the housing stats for Toronto. Before I jump into the numbers, let me make one thing very clear. The headlines out there right now are spelling doom and gloom, but the numbers that I'm seeing right here on my screen are very different. All right, so here we go. Let's jump right in. So we know, of course, sales volume is way down. This is about the fourth or fifth month in a row that we are down almost 50% in sales volume year over year. But month over month, we're actually up 1.1% in sales volume. And this is a good thing because we've had a huge quarter for immigration. In fact, I think it was a record amount of immigration happening in one quarter in Canada, and we need places for these people to live. I'm going to get back to that point a little later on this video. Now, the second thing that I want to point out, which is really, really important, is average price. Please don't let the headlines mislead you. There is a very big difference between year-over-year statistics and month-over-month statistics. Now, if we rewind the clock, we remember that Q1, especially February and March, was the absolute peak of the market. So as we approach February and March of 2023, we're going to see the biggest discrepancy in average price year over year. So the number is going to keep getting more and more intense, and the headlines are going to outline that. But the one thing I want you to focus on is month over month. That's what's really important right now as an indicator of where our market is actually going, because our inventory is so low. So if we take a look at year over year, our average price is down 9.2% from December 2021 to December 2022. But here's the interesting thing. Month over month, from November 2022 to December 2022, there is no change at all. It is 0%. Now you may be thinking to yourself, rates have been shooting up. How is there no change month over month in rates when we've seen since February about a 20 or 25% decline in average price since the peak of the market, where we know rates have been shooting up? And well, I'm here to tell you that it's because our inventory is so staggeringly low that it is actually stabilizing price. If we look at total new listings coming onto the market, we are down 21.3% year over year. And the sales to new listings ratio is down 39% year over year. We just have no new listings coming onto the market. But for the listings that are on the market, they are having a very tough time selling. Brace yourselves for it, because property days on market is up 110% year over year. We are at 40 days on market as an average. Compared to a year ago, we were at 19 days. And the listing days on market is up 92.9%. This is also a huge number. In fact, I've never seen numbers like these before in my entire career. But keep in mind, we're talking about December, where half of the month was basically dedicated to holidays, and everything kind of just shut down for that period of time. So I really want to provide context in this video, and I don't just want to blow out some huge numbers and make you think that the sky is falling, because really price hasn't actually moved at all. And I know I've talked a lot about the condo market, and it's because, again, it is showing that same resilience, especially in the downtown core of the city. We are down 46% in sales volume year over year, but year over year, we're up 4.5% in average price. And again, this is because as interest rates go up, the cost of borrowing gets more and more expensive. That takes buyers and pushes them down into lower and lower price brackets. And what happens is the bottom rung of price bracket starts to expand. and that's where condos are. They're the cheapest thing on the market. So in a market where the cost of borrowing is going up, the cheapest thing is going to be the most popular thing, and that's why condos are definitely faring a lot better than detached homes, especially in the GTA just outside of the city. And I know I always touch on rentals because it is a massive part of our marketplace and does hit the headlines quite a bit with the lack of inventory that we're seeing. And I know that you've heard me say this more than once already over the past year, but prices are up over 20% year over year for a 1-bedroom rental condo in the city. And I do want to touch on this for just a quick second because there is a serious problem with the rental market that we are seeing right now, and it is the barrier to entry. Over the last few years, the landlord tenant board has very heavily sided with the tenant, and when COVID hit, there was basically no exit for a tenant, even if they weren't paying. And now the landlord tenant board is backed up for about 8 to 10 months on average for any dispute that a landlord wants to bring. So what's happened now is we basically beat landlords into complete submission where they have no power. And what that's done is it's made it damn near impossible for the new generation of tenants to get into the market. We have landlords so petrified in Toronto that they are just refusing to rent to anybody who is not an absolute AAA tenant. We have basically forsaken an entire generation of tenants who are looking to live in the city. So I know that we are always looking to protect people and make sure that, they're not just willy-nilly kicked out of their homes, but it seems the pendulum has swung too far in that direction, and it has basically screwed over an entirely new generation of tenants who will not be able to get in even as a tenant, let alone as a buyer into Toronto. So they can't even live in the city now because landlords are just petrified. They will not lease out to people who are not absolutely AAA. Even if you're offering them a full year's rent up front, I'm seeing tenants being turned down left, right, and center. And it is frankly becoming concerning. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that the landlord tenant board in Toronto has gone too far in one direction? Thanks for tuning in again. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content and you're finding value in it. If you like that video, click the subscribe button on the right, or feel free to enjoy another video here on the left.